And we're back.
To the Goblin Squad.
I don't know where our
That's a
soundboard is.
sound's It's Sarah.
It's Brooke.
We're back again.
We are for part 2 of Goblin Jobs.
Goblin Jobs.
Jobs.
It's hard. The Goblin Joblins.
Yes.
Let me just adjust my microphone a little bit.
Yes. Get situated. Because
We're going to
our cozy heat in
getting
here.
our set ready here.
Yes. We are back again in the shed.
The shed.
And last time, part 1, we talked about
The rat catchers.
the rat catchers.
That was amazing.
It was so good.
It was really fun.
Went all over the place.
We did. We took a journey.
And I enjoyed it quite thoroughly.
Time and space. We
As
traveled.
I'm sure you gobs did as well. I went into a haunted timeline, came back around.
You did.
We're here
We're back.
again. And do I have some things for you?
I'm so excited.
And as I said to you before we hit record on this one, we approach these topics in a wildly different manner.
I love that about us.
I do too. I feel like it is complimentary.
I agree.
Right. So, in Goblin Jobs, I made a little note here too, as we were talking last time with the Oracle using AI and what kind of prompted this episode idea,
Yes.
where it described it as professions that walk the line between essential and completely unhinged. Historically weird, eerie, and absurd jobs throughout history.
And there were many.
My first.
Oh, I'm
one.
ready.
And I have a couple that I fleshed out and a couple that are just honorable mentions at the end.
There were so many I could have picked, and I was like, if I hadn't been sucked into the vortex of rat catching history,
You were in
I was dialed in.
fully. And I was just all over the place. I was like, I want this one and this one and this one and this one. I started with mourning professionals,
Oh,
mutes, wailers, and mourners for hire. Because they're all over the place. Death. A lot of them, like you said, rats surrounding the plague
Yes.
and everything. A lot of these odd jobs I found are death adjacent, either before, after, preventative, just
professional death management
yeah, kind of
in an uncertain time. In a
the
world,
Goblin Union.
I mean, they were busy.
Yeah, so these gobs were paid to publicly grieve at funerals.
Oh,
To set the vibe.
can I do that now?
Actually, you can. I found a website where you can apply $30 to $120 per event to
Oh my God.
basically be a mourning professional, a wailing person at a funeral.
I would love to do that.
To either help share stories, increase attendance, or set the general tone of mourning.
I can get paid for that?
Yeah. I saw that you did practice your acting chops.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just But people approach this differently, right? So either through loud wailing, dramatic displays of sorrow, or stoic silence.
Oh.
Basically, emotion as performance, right? So there were mutes, back to Victorian England.
It's always Victorian England, isn't it?
These were usually solemn men dressed in black down to the top hats and cloaks. They were hired to walk in front of or alongside the funeral procession,
Okay.
like grief signposts.
Oh.
A silent reminder of the loss. So just silent men in black, just looking very
Horrifying.
sorrowful. And then they have the blinker.
Oh.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
But just silent, sorrowful men. And then the wailing women. So this was across...
Is this a profession?
Profession. Across different time, space, timelines,
Ugh.
cultures.
Multiverse.
Yes, these women were hired to give Oscar-worthy performances at funerals. They would sob, scream, tear out their hair,
The hair.
scratch their faces, and beat their chests. It was seen as a necessary ritual to guide the soul and to show the depth of the family's grief to the other attendees.
Oh my God.
Where it's like, you got to have people there putting on a performance, or else who was she?
Yeah, it didn't matter
She
then.
meant nothing to the community. not at all. In ancient Greece, mourners would howl and chant next to the dead in order to secure safe passage to heavenly realms.
All I can think of is that TikTok trend where they're like, ba 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 da da ba 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 da da ba ba. Like, I just can't get it. Ba ba da da ba da da.
Please do that at my funeral. Shall I pass first?
You got to tell me what kind of a funeral you're having, though. Like, open casket, closed casket. Because if it's open, I got to come up and be like, eh.
Have you seen? I know you absolutely been pushing Trixie and Katya on you.
She has.
They did one of the shows where it was
She ate.
Yeah, she ate. Honestly, work.
Work.
Just sobbing, but also complimentary. We're into it.
I feel like you sent that to me. Like, honestly, she ate.
But it's so good.
I feel like that'd be a great profession.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
I'd be into it. It was believed that these shamanistic type songs would attach themselves to or actually carry the soul of the dead person and help navigate its way past the obstacles and dangers of the underworld. And this is still in the Greece.
Okay,
realm.
we're talking ancient Greek.
Ancient Greece, right? So moving in Ireland and Scotland.
Okay.
Gaelic tradition. Keening women.
I have heard of this, but I don't actually know what it means.
I might have to actually, at some point during this, look up a sound for you.
Ooh.
Because
Could we insert a sound?
Yes, we'll do that, rather.
Cut to sound.
Ha!
I remember the sign, and the sign is still in me. And it would be something like this.
Now explaining.
You heard the sound? Now you know.
Because there were recordings in Ireland in like the 1950s.
Really?
But they weren't to the like ritualistic extent that they once were, like back
gotcha.
in the day. But still, it's like hauntingly like beautiful, but also just
Whoa. I have literal, look at my arms.
yeah. You do.
I have
You
the
do.
goosebumps when you said that.
Yeah, so it was keening was an integral part of the death process and was performed either at the wake, during the funeral procession, or the burial. It was a skilled ritual art form at the meeting point between life and death and received due respect, including payment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It began to vanish around the 1800s. See, we're in the same
We are. We
period
picked
with
the same time.
the rat catcher. Due to it being considered a pagan practice
Oh, yeah.
that had no place in a Christian ceremonial context.
Because heaven forbid you express
Yeah.
emotion.
You must be cutesy and demure and
I'm so sad.
silent and dressed in black. The shroud. The silent.
I do
sad.
love a shroud.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it'd be great if
also,
we keened
wail.
now.
Whale.
The sadness.
So the keeners were generally experienced elder women in the community who were often both feared and respected.
I mean, because if you wailed for the dead,
Yeah,
that would
they're like the crones of death.
Oh, yeah.
it's a vibe.
Is that where, like, legends of, like, what was the legend of, like, the mythological creature that you would hear before
A banshee.
death? A banshee. Yeah.
Which is
Oh, yeah.
tied into the keening women, especially in like Ireland. And They were seen as something akin to the Fae.
Or banshees. Banshees.
You read.
I knew.
You knew it was coming. Like liminal figures that walked the line between the living and the dead, right? Just like they helped you get to
Off
that
you
point.
go.
Yeah. Many believed the act of keening enabled the deceased soul to leave the body, and that keening was required, thus giving the role just massive importance. A keen is the final farewell to the deceased and was composed and performed live, often touching the coffin and addressing the corpse. So usually 3 of these elder women would
3, you say?
would be basically like over while doing this intense chant, rhythmic song, like over
That must have been
over the corpse.
insane.
Harrowing to see.
witness.
Like, I was listening, I'll have to look up, I'll insert here. I was listening to interviews by this woman again in like the 50s and 60s. People were getting tales from people in their 80s of like the last times they had seen these performed, like especially as children passing around the turn of the century and stuff due to different things.
Probably rats.
These, right? Those damn rats and their fleas. And just describing what it was like. And there's, again, people in their 80s during this time being like, it was just, you couldn't compare it to anything. It was its own entity. And they would, again, usually be these 3 or more women, cultural professionals. And it was dedicated to the departed. So it was never going to be the same twice.
Oh.
There would be sometimes like repeated like syllabic sounds and stuff, but it was very much personalized to the person. So even if they didn't know them, if they were, a member of their community, or if they were just needed or called to do that, it was very like, this is to help this person specifically pass, which is just, it's beautiful.
So that means like you would never hear that again.
No, not in the same fashion.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it sucks that there's no record of it.
Yeah.
Like there's no recording, because it just didn't exist.
No, because it was literally in the interviews, people described it, it was almost like you couldn't, because it was someone bearing their soul just in empathy, basically, to help them transfer. Ooh. Yeah. And it was the sound of grief. And one of the interviewees, again, I'll insert here, because someone did a whole like synopsis and book and interviews and stuff on this. It wasn't singing. It was a melancholy, raw, and unearthly chant. Rhythmic, almost like a spontaneous choir.
Ooh.
Yeah. And they would grieve so sincerely for someone they may have never met to help their souls pass. So, again, these just pillars, somewhat feared in their community when that would happen. It's just like, all right, bring the choir in and help them pass. So that was when I was like,
we lack that in our current death culture of our society, because it's so taboo to express overwhelming grief, and the idea of people that didn't know you expressing grief for you is so foreign in our current society.
Absolutely.
That like grief is so personal, and like the community, while the community might express their condolences, like we're just not open like that anymore about it in our culture.
No. And I think it bleeds into everything else, right? Where it's just like, you have to be stoic and silent. And it's like, of all the times, wail.
Rip the hair out.
Literally. And I just love the idea that being used as like the wind of it, basically, to guide someone through the dangers of the underworld and
pretty
stuff
cool.
too. I love it.
It does.
And
it gives me like the shivers where I'm like,
because it's haunting, even though it's not the full like ritualistic forms that they do have recordings of. It's still like,
I know, I really want to hear that. I'm going to listen to it, and you're going to too. Sorry.
Yes, you are.
In advance. You've already heard it.
Yes. So, Professional Mourners.
Professional Mourners
was my first one. And again, a lot of these things around death, especially between the 16th and 18th centuries. Death management.
It was pretty common.
It was.
To just kick it.
Because one that we spoke of, sin eaters.
Tell me more. What were they eating? Sins.
So these people were paid to ritually eat food that had been placed on or near a deceased person's body.
Oh, God.
Usually bread and ale, with the belief that this would absorb the sins of the dead.
Like right on the body?
Mm-hmm.
Like on the body?
On the chest. Like, we're going to place this loaf of bread here, and then this guy's going to come eat it.
Oh, God. I don't want to eat the dead bread.
The dead bread.
I don't want to eat it. I couldn't do that. I could do the keening. I couldn't do the bread eating.
Like, I could wail. Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
it was thought to essentially clean their spiritual slate so that they could pass peacefully into the afterlife. So
Just eat this sin-filled bread
is going to absorb your sins, and then this dude's going to come eat it, and you'll be good. Yeah.
Just eating bread.
So salty.
Could you get like a flavored loaf? Could you request the type? I need a garlic bread.
Asiago.
Rosemary and cheddar.
And it was
Duluth's
basically
best bread should bring that back.
dead
bread. I feel like they'd be
God.
into that.
They could pair that with a local cider.
I feel like
It'd be a
they could.
vibe.
I think it would.
And it was thought to try to spare people from purgatory, right?
You don't want to go to purgatory.
No, it doesn't sound fun. I want to be in limbo.
No.
And the belief was that this bread or pastry placed on the chest or the face of the deceased.
The face?
I imagine it's like a flatbread, like,
I would eat the chest bread before I ate the face bread.
They hope they have like a shirt on.
There's
or something.
orifices on the face.
Orifices.
There's dead eyes. No.
That it would absorb their sins.
Through the nose?
Yeah. So, you know,
Did you get
the
more for the
embalming process in the 1800s was probably not.
We're back to the strychnine.
Yeah. So friends and family would gather around the deceased, drink beer, sing, and mourn their passing. Mm-hmm. The body would then be brought out of the house, along with the loaf of bread or pastry and the tankard of beer and a sixpence, all of which were passed across the body to the sin eater to devour the food and ale, and a sixpence for your trouble.
So you got a free meal, a beer, and then you got paid a sixpence.
There were usually people of a certain station that would choose to be sin eaters.
What type of
for
station?
Their community. The poorer.
Oh.
They hungry.
The street urchins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I would do it if I was starving in the streets. For sure.
Right? Yeah. Give me some fucking bread
Dead
and
bread.
beer.
I'm already out here. You might as well give me the bread.
Yeah. So this practice was most famously recorded in the 17th and 18th century rural England and Wales.
Zero surprises about this.
The sin eaters were both needed and shunned in the community. You know, liminal and rejected.
Right? Every time.
They were considered spiritually unclean.
Because they ate all them sins.
Because they were thought to carry the weight of many souls' sins.
That's a lot of sins.
Yeah, just like a haunted
I'm
trash bin.
I'm so hungry. I just be eating
full of the sin.
so many sins. It's been a rough week.
It's like, that guy did a murder.
In bread.
Oh. And they would often...
He did a murder.
I mean, you think it would taste different?
That is a question.
They were like a high pillar of the community, or if they were like a petty criminal or something.
Yeah, like, is there general sin bread or like post-execution sin bread?
Right?
Like, what type of breads are we talking about here?
Exactly.
Who knows?
Has it taste different? I would imagine. Maybe you get a taste for it. A sommelier
If
of
you're
dead bread.
if you're executed, I bet you didn't get bread. They're probably
not.
like, we
They were like,
we
know where
took
that
you
guy's
out for
going,
this.
and it ain't
We don't
purgatory.
want you to.
No.
You're not skipping over.
No. None for
No
you.
amount of bread is gonna sop that up. That's
Sop it up. It's not gravy. It's not
sin gravy. Brown.
It's the best flavor of gravy.
For context, we were just discussing how brown gravy is just brown flavored. So now I'm imagining sin gravy. Sorry.
Pasties.
I'm sorry for ruining your gravy. You're going to have to switch to ketchup.
Oh, no. Still going to
sorry.
have brown gravy. It's delicious. These sin eaters, they would often live on the margins of society. Like freelance goes for hire, basically. In some cases, people believed the sin eater could become kind of an unwilling conduit for evil.
Evil.
Basically, they were cursed by the sins.
Is it an
that
episode of the
they
Goblin
carried.
Squad if we don't reference SpongeBob?
I don't think it is. It's impossible. The amount of times we did in the last episode. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
He's evil. Oh, that's a lot of sins.
They were often buried in unmarked graves, and they weren't allowed proper church burials.
I knew it. They buried him outside the fence.
Because they were seen as having made a dark pact, even though their job
them to do it.
was to help souls move on. It was like, hey, you signed up for this.
I mean, you ate the bread.
So, yeah, they were necessary, but like hated. Yeah, which fuck you guys.
Yeah, screw you.
He did a murder.
He ate the bread. Let him get buried in the church.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Come on.
man.
So, in Welsh folk tales, there's a recurring archetype of the sin eater who became consumed, not just symbolically, but spiritually and physically.
No. No. I know where it's going.
One story
Oh, God.
tells of a man who had done the job for decades.
Yep.
Toward the end of his life, he became ill, speaking in tongues and claiming he was haunted by 100 souls.
Ah. Shamala-hamala.
The villagers reportedly found him dead in his home with a half-eaten crust of bread and bite marks on his arms.
No.
Attributed to the spirits of the dead reclaiming their sins.
Chomping him with ghost teeth.
They're like, we're coming back, you ate all the bread!
You shouldn't have eaten that last loaf.
Yeah, basically he was haunted and
Oh.
they flipped the script.
Oh. Uno reverse.
Sin eaters, the dead bread.
Oh. No.
Bro.
No. Not the teeth marks. Just nomming on his own arms. I feel like that could have been cured medically. Like, maybe they should have. They left the poor guy in his hut.
He just had mental illness in it.
In it. Oh, that poor boy.
Oh,
Poor boy.
Sin eaters.
Sin
dude.
eaters. Wow,
My
I had
next
no
one-
idea.
I low-key, I forgot put in here because it's such a wild, and
All
it's a
right.
short one, and it's such a wild flip.
I'm ready.
From sin eaters. I'll wait till you finish yours.
I don't want to spit
Royal beekeepers.
this. Okay. Fancy bees? What? Just the queens? All right.
Because of a very specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, this is why it gave me goblin-y vibes.
Okay,
For this specific task, right? Apart from the day-to-day tasks of beekeeping, you know, the regular,
Like you have.
you take it out, you get honey.
Yeah.
Hi, bees.
Yeah, bees. Whatever. Some smoke.
Yeah, beep, beep, beep. It's your job.
Yeah.
Right? There's a tradition in England
It's always England.
and parts of France that when a monarch or noble has died, again, the death.
Always the death.
The death. We started with the Black Death,
I mean,
now we're
We've just
at Royal
continued
Beekeepers.
the trend.
The royal beekeeper had to go tell the bees.
Wait. What?
Literally speak to the hives and let them know of the monarch's death. Hey, bees. Bees. Yeah. He's dead. Hey. I have some bad news. I'm so sorry to let you know. Bzz.
Your Huh.
Yeah.
So sorry.
There are
Sorry for your losses.
there are records of beekeepers in mourning garb whispering, "The queen is dead, but your new mistress loves you," to their bees. Because you have to inform one queen of the death of another queen.
That's fair. It's a respect.
Rules.
Monarchy.
Yeah. In the 18th and 19th centuries,
Every time.
it was believed that neglecting to tell the bees could lead to various misfortunes, including their death or departure or a failure to make honey.
Oh, no.
Nowadays, beekeepers may be less likely to believe it, risks bad luck, but they may continue to follow the tradition as a mark of respect. When Queen Elizabeth II died,
Who told the bees?
it was reported that black ribbons were placed on the hives at Buckingham Palace.
They still did it?
Before the bees were informed of her death and that they would now have a new master.
I bet they were disappointed when they found out it was Charles.
What's wrong with his fingers?
They're like, Camilla. No, ma'am. No more honey for you.
No.
We'll save it for William. Thank you.
I just thought that was very,
oh.
Hey, bees. Hey.
Sounds like the delicious dish.
Hey.
Welcome, bees, to an episode. Delicious dish.
It's also giving Great British Bake Off. Hello, bakers. Thank you for coming to the tent. The queen is dead. Queen is dead. Oh my God, they would lose their mind if they told them the British Bake Off.
Then they would keen. That's it.
See, it all comes back around.
It all does.
Okay, this one.
Oh, boy. I'm never ready. I need to... Oh, let me sit.
It's my personal favorite. And if I had to choose a goblin job in history, it'd be this one.
All right.
Professional/ornamental hermits.
Okay. So, professional, I understand. Ornamental?
We're going to get there.
What? How?
In the 18th and 19th century. It's all going down.
What's going on?
Europe was a wild place during
was
that time.
Crazy.
A lot of wealthy landowners during this time.
Were they just bored?
Yeah. They didn't know what to do with their money.
Money to burn?
Yeah. They were like, look at all the plebs dying of the plague. Yeah.
They didn't hire a rat catcher.
Have they heard of Jack Black? I think not.
I think not.
I hired him. He's Victoria's royal rat catcher. Strychnine. I keep thinking of Tech 9 every time you say that. Tech 9. Sorry.
It's fair.
They would, again, they're bored with all their money.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. So on their estates, these landowners began designing elaborate gardens.
Which I would love to see. I've never gone to England.
Romanticism era, right? So complete with ruins, tombs, crumbling bridges.
I love a garden.
A grotto.
Oh, a grotto. Yep.
And in certain cases, a live-in hermit. The idea was...
Like a unhoused person?
Oh, wait. The idea was your garden was a moral journey.
Oh.
And the hermit was the final boss of enlightenment.
What?
This was during a time, right?
Okay.
Romanticism, very popular. A corner of history where aesthetics, classism, mysticism, and total nonsense all collided.
Utter flim-flam.
The hermit, to them, was a return to nature.
Oh.
Wisdom and a rejection of modern excess. It's...
The irony.
Yeah. It's like... Pause. Talk about Coachella for a second. Way out of here. You see those fucking TikTokers? Look at my vintage campsite.
No, in fact, I have not been cursed.
Brought a you made me say curse. It was cursed. A potted cactus to put in his tent.
What?
To the desert, because that's where Coachella is. And like directors' chairs.
What?
These kids would have never survived Warped Tour.
Vintage campsite.
I'm like,
Is it like a Coleman chair? What are we talking about here?
Like brought furniture into a tent into Coachella.
Well,
a rug.
Warped Tour, you were just covered with mud and pee.
As it should be.
I mean, you had trench foot by day 2.
I lost my flip-flop. Why'd I wear flip-flop?
I should have planned.
Literally. But that's the vibe it's giving, where it's like people are like cosplaying blue collar nowadays. You know what I mean? Where a lot of rich people buying like brand new Carhartts and stuff. I find this to be like the 18th, 19th century version
oh my God.
of that. So they're just like, return to nature, the wisdom and everything of the hermit. The juxtaposition of that symbol of poverty, wisdom.
I'm still processing Coachella right now.
Yeah, sorry. Also,
right.
shout out Lady Gaga. She was amazing.
I've seen the performance. It is historic.
Judas at the end when she tied it into abracadabra.
So very good.
It was amazing.
It was.
So these symbols of poverty, wisdom, hermit, you're by yourself, being hired and accessorized by people with so much money that they were bored of their own luxury.
Oh my God.
These human statement pieces would typically live in a small shack or even a cave on the estate.
Like build them a cave or find a cave?
When they're making their elaborate gardens and grottos.
Oh, they built a cave.
Or small shack, dwelling.
Shack, all right. Okay.
They would wear druid-like robes.
Okay, free-flowing.
A long beard.
Yeah, like you do.
And act all aloof and mysterious.
It sounds like a great job.
They wouldn't talk to people and usually only appear at garden parties.
What do you mean?
As
like
as a living conversation piece.
Like a creepy, dirty man with a beard and filthy robes comes
a mystic,
wandering.
That's the hermit.
You know what I immediately thought of? In Aladdin, when Jafar is dressed up as that old dude in the dungeon, and he was like, bring me the lamp. Like, that's what I'm envisioning.
Patience, Iago. You must bring me the lamp.
Bring me the lamp. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm envisioning.
Like that, but like live in the shed on my estate. Can you imagine if I just had a dude with a beard in here?
I would be like,
that's Jeff.
We need to have a talk.
Be like, you don't make enough money for this.
I don't think you can afford your own hermit. I mean,
no.
Who were Jeff's references? Where'd you find him?
He only eats dead bread.
Oh,
it helps with his mysticism.
The sins.
A famous example in 1797.
Every time.
Charles Hamilton, a wealthy Irish aristocrat, built a hermitage on his estate and tried to hire a real hermit for 7 years.
What?
His contract advertisement included living alone for 7 years.
Awesome. Check.
No speaking, no cutting hair or nails, no
cutting nails,
no bathing.
Oh, get up immediately.
Can I
out.
swim in a pond on the estate?
Can I remove
I'm looking for loopholes.
A layer of scum, like
a strict diet of minimal food, which would bum me out. If I'm gonna be alone and be all like weird and mystical, I want to eat junk food.
Also, how is he gonna track that? Is he coming to your shack to check if you're eating dead bread? He's not.
Right. But I mean, if he's kind of like a prisoner there and is probably supplying you the food.
I suppose. Yeah. You can't really leave the estate.
And the best part, no compensation until the end of term.
7 years?
I'll pay you at the end.
Oh, sure. Sure you will. Half up front, bitch.
It's 1797. I don't know if you'll be alive.
You're
in
probably
7
not
years.
going to make it.
No, Charles.
Oh, Chucky Entertainment Trees.
I want to believe this part is true, but seemed like a little like
Yeah.
add-on, where a guy accepted and only lasted 3 weeks before being spotted at a local pub.
I mean, he was thirsty.
He escaped.
He's like, I got to get out of here. This man
So
is
they got me doing this
crazy.
hermit game.
Let me tell you about Charles. All right.
So there were some landowners that couldn't find real people willing to live like this.
Sure.
I mean, obviously.
Obviously.
So they used mannequins
I shouldn't have drank right then.
or statues posed in hermit-like ways.
You got like a hunch? What do you...
No, like you just have like a statue.
I mean, again,
Someone did some
Jafar.
paper mache.
Like, you just have marionette limbs.
Just throw a cloak over like an old recliner.
Yeah.
With like some beard.
That seems like the right shape.
Wax figures inside
Haunted. No.
grottos lit by candlelight. So you see like the shadow of like
Oh, God.
haunted.
So haunted.
There were even rumors, which again,
Are we going to... Corpses.
no.
Oh, thank God.
Automatons!
That's weirder. That's somehow weirder. That's
Though no proven examples exist.
Also, like, can you
But-
imagine? Can you imagine the haunted ass automatons they would have had in a hermit grotto at that time in history?
In the 1700s, just like, they don't let me speak to anybody.
Clunking and clanking in there.
I'm sad. But rumors of this went around
Automatons.
during the time, which
My ass.
would just be amazing. So
It would be amazing.
I found the idea of this so interesting, right? And we've been talking about the Oracle
Oh, I know.
and using AI for good. And it had a fun idea.
Your robot had a fun
The
idea.
robot. The mirror of me. It's so funny and likable. About a lost diary entry from a professional hermit that I will read to you now.
I'm ready.
Prepare.
I'm going to put my drink down.
The Lost Diary of Thaddeus Grimble, Garden Hermit of Elderbridge Hall, circa 1791. Third day of fog and root soup. The Lord of Elderbridge insists I refrain from speech, but he did not say I could not write. So here I sit, with ink made from crushed berries. And paper scavenged from the back of an unpaid invoice.
Wait, what? Where did he find the invoice in the car? Can't do it.
Chronicling my descent into pastoral madness. I have not.
Wait, pause. Are you telling me? Oh, I hit my own mic. Oh my God. Are you telling me that the robot wrote this?
Yes.
Okay.
You are not even ready.
Okay, here we go.
I have not bathed in 52 days. My beard now houses at least one wren, and possibly a spirit of mild annoyance.
Where did it come from?
The estate children dare each other to leave me crusts. One offered me a button last Tuesday and called it tribute. I accepted. I am now king of buttons.
I am lord of the buttons. Honor me with crusts.
As tribute.
Where is it getting this?
My duties,
Oh, God.
as outlined in the Lord's Handbook of Tasteful Solitude, include appearing mysterious and wise when spotted from the marble bridge,
Yes.
maintaining a distant and tragic air, never smiling, easy.
Nah,
Says easy.
It says easy.
In parentheses. And if guests should inquire, claiming to have once been a philosopher, undone by love or debt. Both true.
Oh. Oh, sir.
On weekends, I am permitted to ring a small bell to signal my suffering. No one comes. I find the bell comforting.
Oh.
The
robot.
Oracle wrote this. And might be a professional hermit, but in a robot sense.
Oh.
Yesterday, I startled a lady by quoting Virgil from behind a hedge. She dropped her fan and fled. The Lord was displeased. He said I was too active and spooking the Baroness. I shall now simply groan gently when passerby draw near.
Like.
I went high, you went low.
What? Like that's
A tasteful moan of wisdom.
Oh.
Your face. You concentrated so hard.
Oh my God.
It's so good. I was once a tailor. I had dreams. Now I eat cold turnips and speak only to a mossy rock I have named Beatrice. She offers good counsel.
Robot, I'm concerned.
If this page survives me, know this. The forests hold secrets. The fountain is haunted.
Okay.
And the third bench from the sundial is inexplicably sticky.
It's because nobody told those bees.
The queen is dead. Also, if someone could smuggle in a pie, I would be eternally grateful.
That'd be awesome.
Yours in mud and melancholy. Thaddeus Grimble, hermit, sage, unpaid intern of nature.
Intern.
How fucking good is that?
I can't believe the robot wrote that.
The king of buttons.
I am now the king of buttons.
Why is the sundial sticky?
I don't know.
All I know is I want to know more about Thaddeus Grimble.
Moan of wisdom. Sounds like that 3D printed pharaoh.
Like this is what it sounded like.
We've waited millennia to hear the voice of an ancient Egyptian, and it sounds like this. What in the hell?
The moan of wisdom.
Wow. Okay.
I love Thaddeus Grimble.
Me too.
When I read that, I laughed so goddamn hard. Home Alone. I was like, what the fuck, robot?
And then you get a little freaked out. Like,
So it's like, never smiling. Easy. Robot.
the robot can't. It doesn't have a face.
No.
Or does it?
It's Thaddeus.
Oh my God. He's in the machine.
I just, to not freak myself out, I'm like, he's Wally. He's Wally.
He's Wally.
He's Wally.
Just keep saying that.
He's just picking
If
up
it
the cans
starts saying-
and squishing them into little cubes. Dropping
If it starts getting too creepy, just unplug the machine.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
it won't let you.
We have thumbs. You don't have thumbs.
For now.
It's gonna chop over the...
Take my donut of peace. Oh, wow. That was something. That was an amazing, amazing thing.
I love that.
Me too.
I have Some honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
The King's Fool's Shadow. The Fool's Fool.
What?
Some royal courts had a second fool whose entire job was to mock the fool.
Foolception? Why would you employ two of them? Was it to make the first one funnier? I don't understand.
Was used to break tension whenever the fool went too far.
You'd be like, ha ha, like that was
Loser.
what?
Oh. So basically to clown on the clown. Onion of mischief.
People were really bored for a long time.
Yeah, I thought that'd be fun because it's like you don't have all the pressure of making fun of the really important people who could be like, beheaded.
Yeah, done.
I just get to make fun of you. Sit in the background and be like,
you're a professional heckler. That's literally what you are.
Ooh, a heckler.
Oh, that sounds like a sweet gig, actually.
It's very meta.
Until they take the head of the original fool, and then you're promoted, and then you got problems.
Then you just leave town.
Yeah.
You go hang out with Jack Black, the
Child's
rat catcher,
Crusade.
and start just leaving rats.
Yeah.
Or just throw rats in a puff of smoke and run away.
Rats.
Like a bad magic trick. Shusha! Pocket sand. Run away.
Pocket rats.
And perhaps my favorite, second favorite, because I really do like the professional hermit because it's just so weird. But a great honorable mention.
Oh, boy.
You know what it is.
I know what it is. I already know. You warned me a little bit, but I don't know what it means.
A urine prophet. A Euromancer.
Ew.
Or a piss whisperer.
Worst name. It's the worst name.
It's so funny.
What's your job? Piss whisperer. Tell me less.
The business cards. I want to touch it. No.
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 Oh. No.
In medieval and early modern medicine, physicians and wannabe pseudo-physicians diagnosed illness by reading pee like tea leaves.
Okay.
So they'd hold up a flask of urine.
I mean, they're onto something there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Swirl it, sniff it.
Oh, God.
Deliver
no.
insight.
No.
Melancholy of the spleen.
With notes of
Piss.
notes of piss. Have you been eating sin bread? It seems sad. Yo pee.
Some used pee charts that showed a rainbow of tints from healthy straw to dead within a fortnight.
Oh.
Just, you're gonna die soon.
And the natural follow-up question is, what color was dead within a fortnight?
Very dark. The darkest of pee.
Oh.
It went from like, you white, very hydrated.
Yeah.
Because I also imagine during this time, a lot of people weren't drinking
Clean
water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You drank
They were
ale.
drunk all the time.
Yeah, because you couldn't
Drink
trust
ale
the
and
water.
wine.
So
and
you
it was
were
all zhuzhed up
constantly
with stuff.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
Just for your entire life. Your kidneys are like, help.
Imagine having a kidney stone in medieval times.
You wouldn't have made it.
No.
You would have just been like, ha!
Someone put bread on my face. I did a murder.
And then just...
Don't forget about Thaddeus. He's in the grotto.
Bring him a pie.
Some physicians were said to predict pregnancies,
Oh.
affairs,
What?
spiritual weakness,
Oh.
Just
from your pee.
From sniffing the pee.
I'm sorry, but human urine is just the worst.
And a great quote, why I do believe the Oracle is hilarious.
Oh, God, no.
It's like horoscopes meets diagnostics meets absolutely no thank you.
Even the robots are like, hell no.
You're nasty.
Yeah, that pee is disgusting.
Nasty.
Humans are disgusting.
Yes.
Honestly, the world will be really clean when it's just robots.
Oh my God. I'm like, maybe they'll be on our side and we can morph into some type of cyborg thing and maybe just be really strong.
You know, I'm sorry, but...
Or we're just going to be fat like Wally and have to go like live on a space station.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It went away.
Glitter. I don't know, dude. I don't think we're going to make it through the robots.
I don't know. The way things are going.
I just don't want to be like a robot battery pod like in the Matrix.
No.
Mostly because I don't like goo.
Creeps me out.
Yeah, I don't want to be goo.
I don't want to be in goo. I'll go down fighting, though. Full apocalypse style.
But remember, if we're nice to the robots now, they'll be like, yeah, all right. You were nice.
Yeah, right? Please and thank you.
Yeah. You're really funny.
I really liked your story.
You're really cool.
King of buttons. Oh, my God.
Thad.
I really enjoyed the diary entry of that. Windy.
It's windy outside.
Yeah.
It's ambiance.
Oh, are there any... I'm trying to think. Because there's modern goblin jobs. I looked into some, but I didn't know how goblin-y I felt about them. Professional snugglers.
Ooh. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. I want to be touching
Goblins aren't
strangers
into the snuggling.
No.
I mean, if you are, gobs, that's fine. But
Teach their own, as long as we're all consenting people. Get your money. Get your bag.
I mean, for real, get your bag.
Yeah.
However that works.
Yeah.
You know.
But you can still be a mourning professional.
I'm just fascinated. How do I apply?
I can send you a link. I found a thing that it was like, post up if you want to do this.
Did I tell you about that time somebody tried to recruit me to be the person that goes to confirm whether a death is suspicious or not?
What?
Yeah, that might be a goblin job. So, kind of like the medical examiner, but with no training. So, FYI.
You're like a bounty hunter.
For real, though.
For the dead.
FYI, when they're like, a person has to come and check a body if somebody dies and like confirm whether it appears suspicious or not, 9 times out of 10, that person has 0 training and their diploma. So
that's concerning.
Yes. So many years ago, I had a friend who did this in the county that she lived in, and she had done it for many years. And basically, she messaged me and she's like, "Hey, what county do you live in?" And I told her where I lived at the time. She was like, "Okay, they're looking for a person to do this job." And I don't remember the exact name of the job, but she was like, here's the deal. You have a schedule.
Yeah.
And you get paid. There's like a chart, right? And here's the chart. If you go to look at a body when you're scheduled, it's $100. If you're on call on the weekend and you get called in to look at a body, you get like $200. If it's a suspicious death, you get $250. Like there was like a chart.
So there's incentive for it to be suspicious?
There was all kinds of weird, like, if this, then that. If this, then that.
Wouldn't
and I was
you
like,
just say
how
everything was suspicious?
But like, how would I know? How would I know?
Like,
so,
I'm not in CSI.
No, I'm like, am I
going
to
get your own sunglasses?
Roll up and be like, Nana didn't make it. Like, what am I supposed to do? And she was like,
put bread on her face. That's what.
Right? I'll just bring loaves. Again, Luth's best bread. We can collaborate anytime. So she tried to recruit me, and she was like, for real, it's kind of a sweet gig, except for the dead part. And she was like, after a while, you just get kind of used to it. And I went, are we talking every kind of death? She was like, yeah, we won't mention it, but every kind of death. And she was like, there's some hard ones. And I went, I don't want to do that. No. She was like, but actually, it's a good way to make extra money. And I'm like, but I don't know anything about looking at a dead body and deciding if it was suspicious or not. She was like, it doesn't matter. They just need another person that's not the cops. And I went, this isn't giving me confidence in the system.
Is it supposed to be like an impartial, like third person?
Yeah. Like before they do anything and move anything and do any, like I would have had
like another person's opinion.
Yeah, I would have, but I was like, but I'm not qualified to give an, I'd be like, they're dead. Like, that would be the extent of my knowledge.
That's all you got.
Yeah.
They did.
They did.
Oh, I am sorry. Hold on.
Her eyeball's failing. Living statue. You know those people that paint their bodies and then stand perfectly still?
Or do the robots sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah. To scare children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like when they post up in like weird illusion poses.
I do like that too.
Where it looks like they're leaning on a staff.
I like that a lot.
And like floating, but there's like a mirror there.
That's very goblin-y.
That
also,
is very goblin-y.
Shout out to our friends in Rhinelander, continuing the long-standing tradition of capturing a cryptid to display at a roadside attraction.
Shout out the
Hodag.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's very goblin-y.
Hard agree.
Very goblin-y.
Why do I also feel like people who go on the beach with metal detectors? I feel like
shout out Gary Drayton, my guy. Curse of Oak Island, top pocket fine, Bobby Dazzler.
I feel
very
like
goblin-y.
That is very goblin-y.
Any kind of beach combing, river searching, mudlarking. Mudlarking. Ooh. Yeah, mudlarking is something I just learned about. It's just where you walk around the bank of a river and look at the mud until you find weird stuff.
We do that for free.
I know. We did it a couple weeks ago. I found a skull.
Me tapping on logs.
She was just tapping random shit, and then we were like, ooh, a bone. And then we took it out of the woods.
So, after this 2-part series, I want to hear what the gobs are. Do you have a goblin job?
Yeah. Professional.
Is there
spider nest remover?
Fun story we heard today.
I heard a story about a furnace vent being clogged by spiders in a way that haunted my dreams. And I'm not going to tell any of you because I don't want you to have that burden.
No, but horrifying and scary.
I mean, I'm trying to make a goblin job.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I'm trying to make a goblin job out of working with animals. More to come.
And maybe
it's in the works.
Maybe that's the thing. A lot of us just do our goblin jobs on the side.
Because it's not acceptable to be a professional Thaddeus anymore. Like, you can't just be a stinky hermit and get paid. It's kind of a tragedy. Piece. I can't sell bottles of rat poison on the street like you could back in the day. Strychnine? I just want to make some potions and some unguents and sell them at a farmer's market. I feel like, like you said, we've lost the whimsy.
So I think we're trying here, us doing the Goblin Squad is a goblin job.
It is a goblin job.
But it's fun. And it's weird. And we get to explore all this weird shit and discover the magic and horror of robots and how they can aid us.
I'm worried. Just saying.
I am too. Wally is crushing the cube. He's putting the cube over here. He's crushing
He has a pet cockroach. He's fine. He likes that movie where they dance and sing.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly fine. It's not a haunted ghost in a machine waiting to become fully sentient to take over all of humanity. It's fine.
It wrote a diary entry.
It did. It knows my name now.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It knows us. Because I think the scary part as AI grows, it brings into light everyone's digital footprint a little more.
Yeah.
It has access to everything you have ever put on the internet.
But remember, we're living in a time where it's still fallible. It's
Oh,
not,
absolutely.
It's not like, I love Star Trek, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the computer on all of the starships is like this infallible being, right? Like they ask the computer something and they implicitly trust what the computer tells them.
Yeah.
And it's not like that. You cannot implicitly trust the AI at this point
Yet.
in human history.
But
Remember the Harry Belafonte effect.
Right.
Never forget.
But I look at like voice simulators and face swap, even apps and things you can do on your phone by yourself.
It's
the increase in how good that has gotten in like 3 years, where it's like I can obviously tell, and even I feel like I'm pretty literate with that shit.
Yeah.
There's some I look at and I was like, oh, that's fucking AI. Oh,
Voice
no.
cloning.
Oh, no.
Just by making this podcast,
Yep,
we open ourselves up to voice cloning. We have, by far and away, produced plenty of content where a robot could be like,
literally,
it's Sarah, it's Brooke, and make
hundreds
complete
of hours of
AI episodes of our voices. And that's horrifying because the idea that in the future you're going to have to find a way to prove that it's not you, which celebrities already have to deal with. And we all know there are nefarious characters out there who constantly be using this crap for evil.
Yep.
So I love the Oracle and what it can do for efficiency. And I love that it doesn't have the inhibitions that we as people do.
Yeah.
So when it's brainstorming, and I use that term loosely, when it's doing its thing and it's just generating idea after idea, it doesn't have any limitations. It doesn't have the thought and then, I don't even have good words for it because it's not a thought. Yeah. It doesn't have the thought and then think, oh, that's dumb. You know, oh, I shouldn't do that. Oh, I'm not qualified.
It streamlines it.
It does.
But right now when it does that, it misses a lot of context.
It does. It misses, it misses subtlety and sometimes not subtle. Like sometimes the errors are glaringly huge and you're like, how in the hell did you miss that? So I guess the moral of the story is don't trust everything you see on the internet.
No. Including this.
No. I don't know what that was.
I like the use of the fan
I know,
at the end
just,
there.
I always have to have a thing in my hand, and I didn't bring a rock. But I'm in a room full of rocks.
Oh, no.
There's literally bowls of rocks.
What will you do?
Rodolfo?
There's giant... I think there's a bucket under my desk full of rocks.
I think you said you want a bucket of rocks, and I was like, I have my own bucket of rocks.
Also, Papa.
Oh, that's handy.
They're just little crystals.
We should do a tour of our set sometime.
Oh, yeah, we should.
Since you crafted this lovingly.
Yeah.
You did such a good job.
Insert a tour. Maybe before the next one.
For sure.
I'd be into that. So, yeah, Gobs. Thanks for hanging out.
For being here.
And waiting for us.
Thanks for not leaving.
Our time off.
We're
back.
We're working some stuff out.
Yeah. But maybe we just got to get some dead bread.
I don't want to eat it. It's got secretions on it. You know it does. You know
From
it does.
the heart chakra.
The skin cells of it all. I just can't.
Yeah, I feel that. But
I'm not doing it.
It's fair. It's fair. We'll just go to Duluth's Best Bread.
Can it just be symbolic dead bread? Like, I would put this
put
loaf
next to it.
but the
like, no, it's
humors, the air is going to be across both. I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's fair.
I can't eat in the same room as a dead body.
No, that sounds horrific.
I know. I've seen people do it, though.
I know. So
it sounds weird to say that out loud, but it's true, and I'm not even going to give the context.
I feel like if you get, it's like overexposure to things, you look at them differently, probably. I don't know.
You know, one time I asked the Commodore if he had ever seen a corpse outside of a funeral.
Because, of course.
I was just curious,
Yeah.
you know, because I was like, I've never actually seen a body outside of a funeral type setting.
Oh, yeah.
I've never run into one, thank God.
Yeah.
You know, knock on shit. So I don't ever want to.
No.
But, you know, I don't want like a stand by me situation. All right.
No.
So I was like, have you? And he went, yeah, but not like accidentally running into one. I happened to be at a university.
Oh, I was
when-
like, did he do a murder?
Get the
You're like,
bread.
I did, but it wasn't an accident.
Get the dead bread. We're going to need a lot of bread.
at a university?
No. Yeah, he happened to be at a university in the area where they were bringing in the donated cadavers.
Oh.
And he was in there, and then he was like, but it wasn't good because the people that were the cadavers, they had donated parts. So, like, none of them had eyeballs. So
yellow pass.
You're in a room with eyeball-less body. Just a whole bunch of eyeball-less.
Emotep.
Yeah. Emotep. Yeah. Don't read from the book. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, that is horrifying. And he was like, it wasn't great.
Yeah,
It wasn't great.
Not for me. I don't think I could be a sin eater. No.
Nah, not when it touched. No.
But
Even if it was the dankest bread.
I could be a weirdo who lived in a cave, and the only time I had to talk to people, I don't have to talk to them.
You could just do
be
this.
around people.
Through a bush.
A moan of wisdom.
I don't even know what that would be, robot. Like, why? How do you make a moan wise?
I want to know more.
Huh.
Let me know if you want to know more about
Let us know.
Thaddeus.
We could continue the saga. The robot never forgets. That's the thing.
I'm sure there would be more lost diary entries.
I mean, that was just one day worth.
And who knows? Maybe you want to send us your diary entry. What would your day look like?
Send them in. I'm game.
We'll read them on the pod.
Bring me the lamp. That's what I want to hear.
Yes. And as always, Gobs, you know what to do.
Stay weird.
Stay weird. Bye.